How to respond to a request for further evidence, NVC stage, tips and guide. Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're here, it's probably because you've received a request for further evidence or RFE from either NVC or USCIS, and you're not quite sure what to do next. Don't worry, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to break down everything you need to know about RFEs and how to respond to them effectively. And if you're new here, this is the Swanberg channel sharing tips on how to videos, motivational quotes, and blogs. Please subscribe to our channel for more informative videos. So let's get started. First things first, what exactly is an RFE? A request for further evidence, commonly known as RFE, is a notice from the National Visa Center asking for additional information or documentation to process your visa application. This might sound intimidating, but it is a common part of the visa immigration process. There are various reasons why you might receive an RFE. It could be due to missing documents, incomplete information, or even just needing more clarity on certain aspects of your application. Understanding why you receive an RFE is the first step in effectively responding to it. Steps to respond to an RFE. Now that we know what an RFE is, let's dive into the steps you need to take to respond effectively. This is the most crucial part, so make sure to follow along closely. Understanding why you receive an RFE is the first step in effectively responding to it. Step 1. Read the RFE notice carefully. Carefully read the RFE notice. This might seem obvious, but it is essential to understand exactly what USCIS or NVC is asking for. Take your time to read through each point and make notes if necessary. This document will outline exactly what additional information or documentation is required. Pay close attention to the deadline for your response, as failing to meet this can result in your application being denied. Example, in our case, I received an email like this. But like others, I was confused because I was documentarily qualified, yet I received an email that I have to log in my CEAC account and look for the message in the box or the status chart at the bottom of the page. So after I read it, I immediately logged into my CEAC account and found out that the message inbox that I have an RFE. And it goes like this. Step number 2. Gather required documents and evidence. Gather the required documents and evidence. NVC will specify what additional information they need. Make sure to collect everything mentioned and ensure that all documents are complete and accurate. Make sure everything is clear and legible. And if you ask for financial documents, for example, ensure they are up to date and properly formatted. My RFE was about the I-864 Affidavit of Support form, stating that we had insufficient income to meet the public charge requirements for visa issuance, so we need a joint sponsor. Once my father-in-law agreed to be our joint sponsor, I gathered all the necessary documents for our RFE response. It was tough, but I did it, and I'm sure you can too if you're facing an RFE situation. Just don't question the NVC or USCIS about why you received an RFE. Simply comply with their request to avoid further delays in your visa application. Step 3. Submit your response through CEAC or upload all the documents to the CEAC portal. After my father-in-law emailed me as my joint sponsor all the required documents, I uploaded them immediately. Shortly after, I received a message in my inbox confirming that my joint sponsor was approved. Step 4. What happens next? In this step, we will wait for the NVC to review the process or our documents and the possible outcomes after our submission. Documents for our joint sponsor. I-864 Affidavit of Support form must be filled up and have a wet signature. Federal income tax return or 1040 from 3 recent years. For us, like 2021, 22, and 22. Proof of U.S. citizenship, which is U.S. passport. Proof of U.S. domicile, which is driver's license. Your joint sponsor is working, you have to submit the W-2 form. But in our case, our joint sponsor is not working, they are already retired, so we only submitted the 1040. Here are some quick tips for a successful response. First is to respond as quickly as possible, but don't sacrifice accuracy for speed. Second is be true and precise with your documentation. Double check everything before you upload or sending. Avoid sending unnecessary documents that were not requested. Sure, all documents are translated into English if necessary. To recap, receiving an RFE from the NVC isn't the end of the world. By carefully reading the notice, gathering the necessary documents, organizing your response, and sending it on time, you can successfully navigate this step in the immigration process. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, This One Board, for more useful content. And leave a comment if you have any questions or need further assistance. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Thank you and God bless.